How's it going, collectors? Dark Cross here. I just received this in the mail. This is actually a PCS Macho Man that I won on YouTube in a giveaway from Astro Collectibles and Collector Zone. Yeah, check out their channels. Really cool. I mean, I always watch Astro for, he does like previews of statues coming out and reviews. Sometimes then on Collector Zone, they just opened up a shop, so check out room tours of them. Anyway, I'll open this up. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, here's the Macho Man, Randy Savage. WWF. I mean, I used to watch wrestling when I was a kid, and my favorite was the Ultimate Warrior, and PCS does make a statue of him, and Hulk Hogan. Randy was the, I think he was the Intercontinental Champion, and then he became the World Champion back when I was watching, and he teamed up with Hulk Hogan a lot. Yeah, so this is PCS's version of him. So yeah, let's open him up. All right, so here's the Macho Man, how he comes packed. It's essentially just the body, the base, and up here you have his finger, his hand that's detachable with the finger pointing up, and here's the bandana that goes behind. All right, so let's get this set up. All right, collectors, here he is. Macho Man Randy Savage, quarter scale by Premium Collectibles Studio, PCS. This is again quarter scale Randy Savage. Base is pretty basic. It's just black base. It's actually really tall. Didn't think it was gonna be that tall. With his name on it and his trademark sunglasses. If you notice here, mine didn't fully go into the base. It's still up pretty much a significant amount, and it just seems like this key here where his leg is, it's just a bit too wide for the hole there, so I may have to shave down that key to get him to fit properly. The other key is fine, but yeah, other than that, here he goes. I mean, Randy Savage, again, what I remember most of him is during his matches he would climb up to the tallest point of the ring or cage and just like leap off the front. I remember when they do cage matches, he would get from the top and jump down and land on somebody. Of course, his energetic attitude, with the voice that we all remember as soon as you hear him talk. He was also in the Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire. He played Bonesaw in the beginning. I remember when I first saw that, everyone was cheering and stuff at seeing Macho Man fighting Spider-Man, which is cool. He was a bit older during that time, but yeah. So here it is. I mean, pretty basic. Would have been cool if PCS would have done like a ring kind of themed base here, or I don't know if they probably can't. Right? I mean, it was WWF when I guess this likeness is taken from. If they could have just put it on the base or something, or just make it look more like a ring from the wrestling days. So yeah, so here he is. Here, let's try to get a close-up of his face. Likenesses, it's kind of there. It's hard to get a beard in statue form. This one, I mean, they did, it's an okay job. I mean, here it looks like it's kind of like the skin tone, so not so much on that part. I have a couple Wolverines where they can get the 5 o'clock shadow pretty good, but in terms of beards, whenever I've seen them, I mean, it always just looks like, kind of like the hair, where it doesn't look natural. I mean, I guess it's hard to get in statue form from the statues that I've seen. But I mean, I think the likeness in person is pretty good. From pictures, it doesn't look so good. You have the veins coming from his neck, and if you ever look at or watch old videos of Randy talking, I mean, he's always speaking with that voice, and his neck is always so tense. So check out his body here. It's kind of hard to capture on camera, but he has that tan that the wrestlers had in the 80s, 90s, and the physique, the body sculpt is sculpted really well. This part here comes detached, so it's a peg that goes in there. I think I have it in the correct way. The key's not really a different shape. It looks like a square, so I wasn't quite sure how it went, but I'm pretty sure this is how it goes. It took some force to get it in. When I first tried, I accidentally put my finger on the glasses, and it kind of like it didn't break or anything, but I felt that it wasn't sturdy enough. So just if you have to put it in, just try to grab it from the top and just kind of use some force. Don't go with the glasses. So yeah, I don't. These look like, I don't know, plastic or something that were put on after the fact. So I wonder if like his, it looks like right here, his it probably has a full sculpt under there. I'm not sure. It probably does. It looks like this is just attached to it. So would have been cool if they were removable. I mean, I don't think they are, but I'm not going to try to take it off. So, yeah, so body sculpt looks pretty good. I mean, he wasn't like totally ripped. If you watch like the older wrestling matches on YouTube with him, but this is kind of like his standard outfit. I mean, he had like, they didn't wear much, just had the underwear with the stars and his trademark little like cap that he had on with the Macho Man on it with his logo. I guess is his sunglasses. Pointing up to this guy. I think he would do that when he won. I'm not sure. I don't really recall back in those days, but yeah. So I mean, like I said, more of a Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan fan back in the day. So yeah, I mean, I think he looks pretty good. I mean, the the underwear, you have all the folds, the wrinkles, and his boots. This is really well done. I mean, I have some other statues where they have the laces completed, and this is on par with those. I mean, it's really well done, and the paint is great on this as well. And it's kind of hard to capture on camera. Let me see if I can try to get some light there, but his skin does have texture. So like when you see it in person and versus photos, it just looks like just a flat looking piece, but there is skin texture to it, and there is definition in multiple areas that you can kind of see. See, I'm trying to shine the light on there, so you see there's a line there, so you're showing his muscles there. Again, to the sculpt, he was pretty fit back in the day. It's let's see. What else is on here? Yeah, I mean, yeah, everything's well defined on him. I mean, as it should be. I mean, this is, again, a younger Macho Man, not the older one that we'd see later. So he's always with his manager, Miss Elizabeth, who I think that was his actual wife that he married for a while. And, yeah, a common team up with Hulk Hogan. And, yeah, so, yeah, he was a very good athlete. Remember, man, he'd, like, jump off those ropes. He'd do a lot of acrobatic stuff that some of the bigger wrestlers just, they probably couldn't do. He was a smaller guy. But, yeah, it was really cool. I mean, glad to have it. Thanks again to Astro Collectibles and Collector Zone for the giveaway. And, yeah, it arrived great. Yeah, just the only issue with mine is just the thing didn't go on all the way. But I have a Dremel. I'm just going to shave it down a little bit on the side and see if it'll go in. I mean, if not, I mean, it's pretty stable. I mean, I don't want to like mess with it too much, but I have had statues in the past where keys didn't go in. I just kind of rubbed it off with either sandpaper or, extreme measures. I use my Dremel. But yeah, other than that, I mean, looks great. It's got an actual low number too. It was like number 12 out of, let's see, how many did they make? They made 600 of these. And yeah, it's still available on Sideshow and probably the PCS store. I think Collector Zone has a few on their website as well. So if you're a wrestling fan, and especially Macho Man, I think this is a great statue to have for your collection. I mean, quarter scale, it's great scale because it's not too big like third scale. Like that dark side there, custom, is supposed to be quarter scale, but I mean, he's huge. He's like 33 inches in height. So I can't imagine third scale figures that are around that size just taking up a bunch of room. But quarter scale, if you have like a small Macho Man collection, whether it's action figures or whatever, this would look great on it. Because, I mean, you have, again, the body details, perfect. The skin tone, it's great. You have the texture on the skin. Again, in person, the face looks so much better than what the photos actually show. So here, and you got to remember, I mean, we all have a picture of actors or entertainers in our mind, and I think there's some. Who was it recently? I think the Jean-Claude Van Damme from PCS. People say it didn't look like him, but if you rewatch Bloodsport, Jean-Claude Van Damme was really young in that. So his face didn't have as much wrinkles or definition as what his other 90s films show. So I think it's the same with this Randy Savage statue. I mean, this is the younger Randy Savage. So if you were to look at old videos of him, it's going to look very similar. I mean, and in person, I think that the likeness is pretty good. The only thing that I I don't think is that great is the beard, obviously, which again is hard to get in statue form, and some of the paint on this because some of it looks like it's part of the skin. The teeth look pretty good to me, but yeah, everything else looks great. So anyway, that's my review of the quarter scale Macho Man by PCS. All right, thanks. All right, guys, just an update. I took my Dremel and I just kind of shaved down with the sandpaper, attachment. I shaved down this part, and where are we? I shaved down this guy here, and I kind of just smoothed it out with some other thing that I had. Yeah, I mean, I think if this happens with you, if you get something from Sideshow or one of the retailers, just ask for a return. But, I won this in a giveaway and it's mine. So I'm like, I don't care. You're not going to see this part anyway. So I just shaved it down and let's see if it'll fit. All right, here we go. So I think it worked out pretty well. Let's see. There we go. I mean, he's still a little bit above, but not as much as it was before. His left foot is practically touching. So I'm not sure if I should go down a bit more with it. I mean, I don't want to really mess it up. I mean, I think in terms of the width of why it's not going down, I think that's been addressed. It could be that the peg itself may be too long to go down, because I think it has enough on each side to fully go down. But when it's displayed, you can't tell. So I mean, I'm happy with it at this point. So it looks like he's flush with the base. It's just a little bit above, and he's not moving anywhere. I mean, before he kind of moved a little bit with how much I was able to put down without putting too much pressure on it. And this base, I forgot to say, it's not as, doesn't feel that solid. I mean, it feels like it may be a little bit hollow inside. So I don't want to keep pushing down and maybe break something. I had that happen with my old Bowens before. I pushed down too hard and it kind of went through the peg, kind of broke through a bit. So yeah, I'm not doing that with this. I learned my lesson from the Bowen days. So yeah, with this, pretty happy with it. Thanks.